Leo said Minister Colley.
If you do the multiplication and you look at the product, you are not satisfied, you cannot give it to the farmers.
At the Sapo Farmer Manager Land Development Project, which is tidally irrigated, Finance Minister Abdul Colley wants to know the impact of the project on the community and the prospects of the new design projects that are expected to be implemented next year. Experts said agriculture has a key role to play in maintaining macroeconomic stability by ensuring real growth by the year 2015. The president of the Pachar Perimeter Farms, Maimuna Sise, explained that with the provision of excavators and other farming implements, together with effective management system in place, Sapo rice fuel could serve as the food basket of the country. The fish ponds and the aquaculture farms in Sapo also caught the concentration of the finance minister and delegation. The Food and Agriculture Organization's Rural National Coordinator, Maria Tufal, narrated that the site has 10 nursery ponds with different types of species meant to generate income for the participating communities. While the tour party then proceeded to the island town of Janjanbureh, where the delegation visited the country's only boarding high school. Armitage Senior Secondary School's principal might not highlight all the challenges facing the school better than this explanation.
As at now, the fence of the school is completely spoiled. And we cannot call it a boarding school if it is not properly fenced. Where we are, students are finding it extremely difficult even to stay in class, of not thinking whether there will be somebody at the kundas to steal some of their materials and go away with them. If you go around, you will see animals going. Sometimes they leave their books, animals will just come and then eat them and go away. And then maybe with the feeding aspect too, is another constraint. But thank God our ministry is also coming up by trying to increase our subvention for us, which we are using. As I am speaking to you now, the breakfast aspect, then they were having half a loaf as their breakfast, but now they are eating full loaf of bread, and then which is a big improvement for us.
Minister Colley and delegation were then led on a conducted tour of the school facility, including the dormitories. In one of the grade 12 classes, the students could not afford to miss the opportunity of seeing eye to eye with the finance minister without voicing out some of their concerns.
Yes, definitely he is trying, but yet still we need improvement of our food. As they cook domoda, we don't like that one. What do you like? We need more chickens to come, please.
We see some broken windows, so we need them to be replaced.
We need a television here. As we are here, we are not going out, and we are not getting any news about the country. That's what I want to talk about.
2 weeks from today, you will have a TV set fixed in your assembly hall where you can watch news. Before the end of the year also, we will do some intervention in your IT lab so that you get more exposed to internet activities. And we will also look into the issue of the windows for the dormitories. So hopefully these 3 areas we will look into and do some intervention before the end of the year. At least the TV before the end of the month, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
So with that, I hope you will all sit in your classes and look into your books and come with very good results and be good citizens.
Abdul Colley was emotionally touched by the conditions in which students lived in Armitage Senior Secondary School.
And seeing the conditions under which students are living and learning is really difficult. And we will do everything possible as a ministry to see how we look at the budget and reprioritize certain spending to assist these conditions, to help, alleviate some of the conditions under which the students live in Armitage. Because if you have the only boarding school in the country and certain basic things are not available, it calls for concern. And we as a government will be found wanting if we do not do anything to help those students in Armitage.
The governor's residence, which is being renovated, was also part of the tour itinerary. CRR Governor Ganyi Ture underscored the importance of the Finance and Economic Affairs Minister's tour.
So sometimes it's good not to just to wait for us to give you the feedback that things are going, everything is fine. But for you to come to see the amount of money that you have given us, whether it's spent or it's been utilized in the proper way.
The 8-month contract of this magnificent building, according to the contractor, is expected to complete in about 3 months' time. Mama J, Grts.
The PAC and PEC committees of the National Assembly have continued their scrutiny of the annual activity reports and financial statements of public institutions, and the latest to present its activity report to the deputies were officials of the Independence Stadium. Louis Mendy followed the legislative session and reports. The general manager of the stadium, prior to the endorsement of the document, pleaded for an increase in government subvention to help revitalize the stadium.
The Independence Stadium had its 2010 and 11 annual activity report and financial statements scrutinized and endorsed by the PAC and PEC Committee of the National Assembly. Built to accommodate the growing needs of national and international sporting activities of all generations, the institution during the period under review is reported to be grappling with a liability of $7 million. One prime reason is the institution's poor revenue base and high electricity bill.
The football gate tickets or football matches. The stadium only hosted 2 international matches by the Gambia Football Association. The weightlifting gym is in deplorable condition and only generating 52,000. Musical shows, there's an increase in competition for musical shows with other hotels.
The problem of that is worsened when billboard advertisement, a principal revenue component of the institution, was hijacked by Gambia for Gold, a directive from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. This and other challenges, such as poor aging loan recovery system, attracted debate at the House prior to the adoption of the document.
And also the social security deductions. Social security deductions are meant for people whose salaries are paid for the social security, so that at least by the time of their retirement age, they will not encounter such difficulties in getting their problem. But if this is not paid, and these are deducted from their own salary, it is used for another purpose, which to my mind it does not do better.
We are very much concerned as far as GPPA regulations are concerned. And today, if you had complied to all the variables as far as GPPA is concerned, I was going to stick my neck out for you and tell you that this committee would be all out to see how best they can bail you.
Now, this problem, in addition with being non-compliant with GPPA regulations, giving out loans that are deemed to be recoverable.
Ibo Faye, the Stadium Director General, prior to the endorsement of the document by lawmakers, pleaded for an increase in government subvention or financial bailout for long-term viability of the nation's only FIFA standard sporting arena. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
We'll take our first break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The rebel M23 movement in the east of DR Congo has rejected government requests to leave the strategic city of Goma in return for the acceptance of some of their demands. The rebels are demanding direct talks with the government of President Joseph Kabila, and Algeria and Burkinabe mediators are pushing to help find a common ground among the various warring parties in Mali. We have details of those stories and others in this news roundup.
Hands of the M23 rebels called on to leave the city on Saturday within 48 hours in exchange for the accepting of some of their demands. The M23 refused. They are demanding direct negotiations with Kinshasa. Though they did not attend the summit in Kampala, Paul Kagame and Denis Sassou Nguesso called on the government and the rebels to respect the arrangements made there. Fighting has stopped in the Goma area, but now some 100,000 people have fled the violence and face a dangerous situation. Food aid began to arrive over the weekend. Algerian and Burkinabe mediators are counting on getting various groups in Mali to sit down and talk to resolve the crisis that has cut the country in half. Following initial advances made in Ouagadougou, Algiers convinced the MNLA and Ansar Dine to participate in talks. A delegation from Ansar Dine is currently in Algeria. Negotiators hope to isolate the two radical